John Paul II talked about the culture of death, and I think it's an accurate description of where our culture is at right now. And I don't think it's necessarily intentional for most people. I don't even think that they're aware of that they're being led to death. I think they're often blinded by the pursuit of pleasure or the pursuit of happiness as they see it. And there's a great job that the enemy has done, that modern media has done, that all kinds of different facets have done to create a numbness in us to where we don't actually experience life and death, and it allows us to avoid. And so I think the culture of death is, a whole lot of it is rooted in lies and people not actually experiencing what's truly going on, not telling the truth, not living in reality. And then I think why we all do that at times and struggle with that is because we doubt. It's hard to have hope that God is who He says He is. But it's true. God is who He says He is. And the culture of death to me is just it's an aching heart longing for hope and for truth and for God to be who He says He is. But when you don't believe that, you'll settle for anything. I mean, C.S. Lewis said that we were made for a holiday by the sea, but we've found ourselves feeling comfortable in the mud slums and the back alleys and the dumpsters, and we don't realize what we're actually made for. And so we choose death in a way because it's hard to believe that there's more or that it's better.
This age that we live in is an age where there's been this falling away from basic principles even of life that are written into creation. In the exaltation of our autonomy, that we have this freedom to do as we will. But freedom that is not linked to truth becomes license. And then when it's license, it becomes life, and the world around us becomes meaningless. And so we as Christians have a grave moral obligation to be witnesses to this culture of life. And we can see this already coming in various forms, and certainly with the legalization of abortion in this land, the doors opened up to this culture of death in a very radical way. That battle of bringing people to see the evil that's in abortion, the contradiction of our very humanity, has a powerful statement to all the other aspects of the culture of death that manifest themselves.
It's the loss of the sense of the human person as image of God, but also therefore the loss of the sense of God. And I think that began with the Enlightenment, where the God became someone or something that was simply not involved in human affairs. And so it was sort of reasoned out of the human experience, reasoned out of human inquiry. So what's the reason got left? It's got left only to reason on itself. And so reasoning with itself can't go very far, it just stops. And that shows the nature of the human being is such that unless you put him in touch with his origin, he just dies. He dies culturally, he dies spiritually, he dies morally.
We live in an age of a falling away from this gospel of life that Christ came to bring. An age that's turned away from the life-creating God. And inasmuch as we move away from Him, so we move toward a culture of death. There's no neutral ground. You're either for life or you're for death.